Buying your first home can be an exciting time, but also a very stressful experience if you don't fully understand the process. Not only are you making a huge long-term financial commitment, you may also be going up against experienced buyers who may view your future home as nothing more than an investment opportunity. It's an emotional process and one that does take time and patience. On the upside though, there are people out there to help you with the purchase of your first home. One of them is Simon Cohen, who joins me now. He's from property buyers agency Cohen Handler. A warm welcome to you, Simon. First and foremost, what is a buyer's agent? How does it work?
A buyer's agent is a professional that acts only for the buyer. So we take a brief and we represent our clients, helping them find the best property in the marketplace, make sure they do all the research behind it and get it for them at the lowest price possible.
And does this involve a fee? Do they pay you for this service?
Yeah, they pay a fee for the full service, which is to find everything that exists in the marketplace. There's obviously a lot more than online, off-market, pre-market, post-market stock. So a lot of work goes into it.
It obviously is a big decision once a couple or a single person makes that decision to commit to buying a property. Obviously a mortgage is more often than not involved.
Sure.
Once the decision's made, that's the hard part. A lot of people would rush in, but it needs to be a slow process. You need to do the research and you actually need to take time, don't you?
Absolutely, and make sure you've seen everything that exists in the marketplace.
Is that so that you know that you're not getting a bad deal?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it is a huge decision for people, especially first home buyers or anyone. You want to make sure that the property you do buy is the right property and it's picked out of a big bunch of properties, not just a handful that you may have seen and rushed into.
Do inexperienced buyers often get, I suppose, bullied around by agents, other buyers out there going through properties, measuring up? You think, oh, they're clearly taking measurements, they've bought the property already, I'm out of this one. Does that happen a bit?
Absolutely. That combined with the market we're in, which everyone thinks is just going crazy and going up, people are rushing into doing stupid, irrational purchases.
So what should first home buyers be really doing, I suppose, to ensure that they're making the right decision and not going to get caught out by some of the things? For example, there are a lot of costs associated with buying a property, the cost of the property itself, as well as the big one, stamp duty, but there are others as well.
Well, if you're not going to use a buyer's agent, the first thing I would do is stay calm. Don't rush into anything and don't get overwhelmed by the craziness of the market. If you find a property, make sure you do your research around it. So order a strata search if it's an apartment, or a pest and building inspection if it's a house. Very cheap things to do, but they give you a great feel for the property you're buying.
Can you do this sort of stuff online? How do people go about finding out how to get a building inspection done on a property they're interested in?
Building inspection is pretty easy. You can Google building inspectors and pick one that you're happy with. Strata searches, every property you look at should have had a strata search, so you just order it online. Mm-hmm. I think it's really important to do your own research into comparable sales. Real estate agents will do their job and give you the highest comparable sales. You need to make sure that there weren't any low ones, so you can come up with what you think the property's worth and why you think it's worth that. And really look at the property. You know, people think, I'll buy this and I'll spend 10 grand renovating, but they end up spending 50 grand. So get real quotes so you don't find you're in over your head when it's too late.
And also the fees associated with the legal costs around doing the title deed transfer and
Absolutely.
whatnot.
That should be
conveyancers, solicitors.
Yeah, I mean, I would use a conveyancer. You don't want to go use a big legal firm. You should be paying between $1,000 and $2,000 for a complete transaction.
What about in regards to, I guess, when people are out there, they're buying a property that is for private treaty, so it's for sale, not for auction.
Beautiful.
Lots of properties go for auction in the cities, especially Sydney and Melbourne. The price, say, is $500,000. Should you be offering less than the asking price?
Look, you should always try to get a property as low as possible, right? Most important thing when negotiating. I think before anything, you should really do your due diligence around if the property is worth $500,000, and if it is, always start low, but be prepared to pay the asking price, because in comparison to an auction, they could quote 500 and it could sell for 600. If they're saying 500, it's worth 500 in this market, it may be worth paying the asking price, but definitely always try and get it for less.
Especially if there's another person offering as well. It often can become an auction, a silent auction, so to speak, between two buyers.
It could turn into 525, even as a private treaty. You know, Dutch auctions happen all the time.
What about at auction? What should first home buyers do in terms of their behaviour and their strategy towards getting that property on the day?
Don't get too excited. Always be realistic and set yourself up that you may not get it. I think the best strategy for anyone is to stand at the back of the room, watch what happens, and when the time's right, get involved. Don't push the price up just for the sake of it.
So there is a lot to think about. It is such an emotional purchase. For people who might be a little bit overwhelmed by this, a property buyer's agent is really a great choice and something that makes for a good investment, yes?
Absolutely. I think it's important to have someone professional on your side. You sell a house, you get a real estate agent. You buy, you should be represented the right way. And
it's easy as me saying, this is what I want, this is the area that I'd like, that's my money. Please do the work for me. I have little time or no experience or know-how.
It's that easy. All you have to do is say, I like it.
Excellent. Well, I like that. Thank you very much, Simon. Really appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Cheers.